What's up, everybody? My name's Jake and this is Alpine RC. Today I'm just going to be kind of going through what I'm going to be using to build my first ARF. This model is like a 20-plus-year-old model from Golden Skies, which is no longer a manufacturer. And it's a 3D acrobatic sport flyer, which I've come to really enjoy flying. And I've got a couple other balsa 3D planes that I just love, but none of them are gas, and I chose to do a twin 20cc Stinger by RCGF, and I'm going to be kind of showing you guys that today, as well as the rest of the stuff that I'm going to be using for the build. This model is really cool. It's really neat. It's got the color schemes are really neat. They're a little retro, but it's going to be kind of nothing like anything else I think out there. And you know, really nice big control surfaces, and there's not a wrinkle. I mean, this thing's been in the box for 15-20 years, and there's not a wrinkle anywhere. Everything was still wrapped in plastic. Pretty cool. Yeah, so it is. I am gonna have to build it from the bottom, which is more old school, but it's okay. I'll just kind of make it so that everything will be pretty much where it is to stay. So just wanted to kind of go over the things that I'm going to be using to do this build. And again, this is my first year in the hobby, and I have a lot of foam airplanes and a couple balsa planes, but there's something undeniable about the balsa plane. And now I'm gonna get to pull the 4-stroke engine into it, and yeah, it's probably gonna be a pretty cool experience. So yeah, just join me as I build this, and we'll see how it goes. So out of the box, this is how it comes. We've got everything's wrapped nicely in plastic. We've got the wheel pans here, landing gear. We've got really nice hardware, rear tail wheel, main landing gear, all metal linkages. These are the standoffs, but I actually got custom standoffs for this engine. Here's the vertical stabilizer, and here's our horizontal stabilizer elevator setup. Graphics kit, more hardware. These are for all the mounts for your servos, as well as your blocks for your servos, pretty much everything, all the extra plywood that you need. A nice manual here, and then this pretty sweet cowling. It's definitely different, but the Stinger engine should honestly do really well. And then coming over here, we do have this fuselage is really nice. I think that I'm going to try to mount some LEDs in the cockpit from the bottom, kind of just give it a cockpit glow kind of a deal. But yeah, everything's perfect, not a wrinkle in anything. It's pretty big, 63-inch wingspan. So that's what we've got for the contents of the box. Now let's move on to the stuff that I had to purchase for the build. I checked it already to make sure it was in there, but I haven't taken it out yet. Looks like it's boxed pretty well. Got the foam on here. Warranty card. Operator's manual. Got some cool decals in here. Pretty cool. Stinger engines. Schematics for all parts and parameters. Pretty nice. And then, so it comes with a set of stock standoffs, which are, you know, they're a little bit smaller And so I ended up having to order another set through Evolution, through Horizon, and they're larger, 38 millimeters. So I found out put me to about the end where my prop needs to be, and so I had to get a little bit bigger. So first thing, I mean, here it is, pretty sweet right away. Bagged up, airtight. Wow, this thing's shiny. Pretty cool. So, yeah, basically, we've got twin cylinder. Here's our carburetor on top. Looks like our fuel inlet here. This is gonna actuate our butterfly valve here for our carburetor. Pretty impressive. I have never seen an engine this big, let alone get to put it in something. So really nicely done. Looks like the cast is perfect. I mean, very good quality, you can really tell. Sweet. So what else in here? We've got our exhaust our mufflers. Looks like our exhaust tips, which will be sweet, which will point down. And these guys are, everything's bagged up probably for moisture. It's coming from Arizona. They were great. The customer service there was awesome. They called me to follow up on my order and just make sure I got everything. And then, yeah, so looks like the last, here's some hardware. Here's some more standoffs, and looks like 2 spark plugs come in here. And all the hardware, extra hardware for extra standoffs. For, I think they're a smaller size. Looks like the gasket for the exhaust gaskets are in here. Yeah, so exhaust gaskets as well as spark plugs, and then another pair of standoffs. And then looks like that would be it, but it was really well packaged. You could tell, you know, there was going to be no damage. So last is the electronic ignition setup. Automatic advancing angle ignition. Looks pretty sweet. Nice and tidy. Couple more decals. I'm looking forward to the 10 or 15 minute flight times so I can actually stay up there for a while and practice maneuvers. So yeah, pretty straightforward. We've got battery, receiver, and then we've got our 2 plugs that go to our spark plug wires to our ignition. Pretty good. Pretty nice, super quality metal casing. It looks like all waterproof, water sealed to the inside of the box. Everything's, you know, good, really nice, heavy duty wiring. All right, so yeah, we've got that. That's it for our engine for the Stinger. So next we've got this Tech-Aero Designs Ultra IBEC that cuts out the ignition battery and goes directly into the receiver, and it filters out all of the ignition noise that can go back to your receiver and cause brownouts. I was recommended this by a lot of the guys on some of the social media platforms so that I didn't have to run 2 batteries when I'm flying this gasser. Everybody had great things to say about it. It's got comes with an LED light, and so that you know when it's on, and just makes your plane way less by only having to have 1 battery, and it filters out any of the electronic reverb noise that you get out of the ignition system into your receiver. All right, and then we've got, what else? I got a couple receiver batteries. Got a 2200 and a 3000 2S Lifey. From what I understand, I could probably fly up most all day on one of these packs, at least 3 or 4 flights. Just gonna have to check it out, see how stuff goes, but I only plan on putting one of these in. We'll just see if the 3000 works better, the 2200. Obviously great packs from Spectrum. I've got also got this filler right here. This is a fuel filler valve that I will mount to the outside of the plane so that I can fuel it easy with because I won't be able to pull off the wing all the time. And so this will make it easier. I found this through Horizon, pretty sweet. Can't wait to check it out. Safety wire for your fuel lines so that you can safety wire them on and they don't come off mid-flight. Calls for a bunch of servo extensions. I got 2 big wing servo extensions, I imagine, for the ailerons, and then as well as a switch for setting up just everything on a switch. I'm not sure if I'll use this yet or not. Here's the Evolution 38mm engine standoffs that came through from Horizon as well. Really nice anodized blue. I imagine that these are going to work out perfect for that Stinger engine. I also got 5 HiTec D625 Wide Voltage high speed servos. They will do anything that I need them to do, with plenty in case I lose the plane for any reason. I can reuse these in any other plane in the future as well. Packaged really nice. Comes everything is metal gears, and they're all digital, high speed, and they're rated for about 30 or 40% more torque than what this airplane calls out for. But I figured that, you know, I've used a lot of HiTec servos on my other planes and they're great, so I just figured, you know, that this would probably be just fine for anything that I needed to do. So I got 5 of the same ones. They're gonna run my elevator, rudder, ailerons, and throttle control. I may switch one of them out for a smaller servo for my throttle, but we'll just wait and see on that. Got a set of fuel lines, four sets. We're gonna do all lime green for our fuel lines. They look pretty cool in there, I think. And I got this resin, the Z-epoxy finishing resin. What I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to take this carbon fiber tissue paper and I'm going to lay it on the inside of the bottom of the fuselage, and I'm going to strengthen a lot of the bottom part of the fuselage that the landing gear is supported around, so that I can create more structural integrity, because I'm not the best pilot yet, and so some of my landings are not the greatest still, and so I just want to try to sturdy up the landing gear and the structural support the best I can. I think this is a great way to do it. I've watched some guys do it, and you know, it couldn't hurt at all for sure. Next, I did get this nice 3-inch, 3¼ inch Hanger 9 aluminum spinner. I'm not sure if this is going to work. It comes with another spinner, but I'd like to have one of these if possible. This aluminum looks really sweet. The adhesives that I will be using for this project are going to be Zap CA medium and thin. I also got a CA debonder. I've never used any CA. I've always used an epoxy, so I'll have to probably have a nice little learning curve on that. And then of course I got myself some 30-minute epoxy. So that's it, except for the receiver, which I've got an AR631 that will be arriving for this model. Other than that, that's it. And I'm looking forward to building this model and kind of documenting things along the way, and hopefully getting some help from other people in the community that have been doing this longer than me. But this video is also to show that somebody with a little bit of aptitude can build a nice plane and do it well with everything that is on the market now. Things seem to be pretty easy compared to what they possibly were many years ago. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one.